So in this public health order, which is effective today, September 8th, which lasts 30 days, we've determined today, and I want to thank you.
It's unconstitutional.
But most importantly, it is unconstitutional.
So effective immediately, no person other than a law enforcement officer or licensed security officer shall possess a firearm, either openly or concealed.
It's unconstitutional.
But most importantly, it is unconstitutional. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office will not enforce this segment of the order.
Fire me then. I have free speech. This is a public entity. You want to go down that road?
Today, dozens of New Mexicans openly and proudly rallied against the governor's public health order, armed with plenty of guns. They protested and laid out their plan in Old Town Albuquerque.
This will not stand. We will not comply.
We're not here to cause any issues. We're just here to, express our amendment rights.
We reached out to state police to see if any of the armed protesters were cited. A rep got back to us saying, to his knowledge, no citations were given out at that event.
The governor is now facing several lawsuits as gun right advocates look to challenge the constitutionality of her new order.
That puts law-abiding people who want to protect themselves, their families, their places of businesses, and their homes at odds with law enforcement.
The lawsuit aims to put a stop to the governor's order, which again applies to open and concealed carrying in public places. Those behind the lawsuits have also asked for a judge to immediately halt enforcement of the ban. The governor has said she expects a legal challenge. Meanwhile, a UNM constitutional law professor tells us he doesn't think the health order will hold up in court.
The United States Supreme Court has spoken loudly and clearly since the Heller case, 2008, that regulations against the carrying, possessing of firearms have to be very narrow to serve a public interest to the degree that it would justify overriding that right.
In that 2008 case that Kastenberg mentioned, the Supreme Court ruled that a ban on virtually all handguns in Washington, D.C. was unlawful. Now, in that case, the court further added that the right to own weapons for self-defense was, quote, an inherent right of all people.
As we all know, Governor Lujan Grisham issued an emergency temporarily suspending open and concealed carry laws for the next 30 days in Bernalillo County. Let me be clear. I hold my standards high, and I do not or never will hedge on what is right. And I take my oath seriously. In reference to concealed carry and open carry, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office will not enforce this segment of the order. While I understand the urgency, the temporary ban challenges the foundations of our Constitution, but most importantly, it is unconstitutional. My oath was to protect the Constitution, and that is what I will do. The governor made it clear in her press conference. She knew we as law enforcement did not agree with the order, and as a result, this was solely her decision. Other than this ban being unconstitutional, here are other reasons why I will not enforce the order. One, what many forget, is I have enough violence here in Bernalillo County. I do not want to have political violence towards my deputies or here in Bernalillo County. My job is to keep the peace and to make sure that the citizens of Bernalillo County are safe, and I do not believe that this order will help me do so. I'm a law enforcement professional. This order will not do anything to curb gun violence other than punish law-abiding citizens from their constitutional right to self-defense. Let me give you a personal story. Last week, as I'm sitting here as the sitting sheriff, I get a phone call that my brother also was a victim of gun violence last week that many of you do not know. While he and my nephew were sitting in their car, they were shot at and their vehicle was impacted by numerous rounds. How can I, as a sheriff, tell him to put his firearms away and not be able to protect himself? I have a fact for you. Criminals do not follow the law or a public health order. Never seen it, we will never see criminals follow the law. Once again, this only punishes law-abiding citizens.
Deputy Sheriff,
Go ahead.
did the governor give you any kind of heads up about this order? And while you said you won't be enforcing it, do you even see a realistic way that it could be enforced?
The governor, to her credit, just gave us a head up minutes before the press conference. We expressed to her that we do not agree with it. That's why she did mention in the press conference that she knows we weren't on board, nor did we draft it. Is there a realistic way to enforce this order? No, there is not, because we'll cut that conversation off because it's unconstitutional. So there's no way we could enforce that order.
Here she is grabbing for more power. And the beauty of this is not about Republicans or Democrats or independents. Even the highest law enforcement official in New Mexico, the Attorney General, has said he will not defend her. And I want to thank Attorney General Torres, DA Bregman, who came out against her. Also, Sheriff Allen here in Bernalillo County, who did the right thing. Multiple state reps and senators are coming out against the governor. Democrats, by the way. That is us coming together as Constitution-loving Americans, unlike this governor, which is why I support the articles of impeachment against the governor. And I ask the governor to resign. Thank you.
I want to give you a briefing of what we're doing. So I know that we've got 3 to 4 lawsuits already being filed. The House Republican Caucus and the Senate Republican Caucus have their own. We're hoping to merge everybody to have one huge voice against the governor. We in Lee County are starting to look at ordinances to protect our communities and our county. And we're hoping that'll go across the state. And then you have Representative Lord and Block that are actually starting the impeachment process. I think that it's going to take all of these and all of you to be able to stand up against the governor and say, we've had enough. New Mexico is better than this. New Mexico right now is being looked at by the whole country and probably the world in a really, really bad light. So I ask you to continue the fight with us so that we can protect every New Mexican in the state, not just the one on the 4th floor of the Capitol. Thank you.
With her. A constitution is merely a contract. This contract of the Constitution our founding fathers set up as a contract between the people and the government.
Oh, say, can you see